Attention Green Bay Packers fans, because the situation in Green Bay's backfield is starting to look like a real high-stakes game. You know that moment when everything seems calm, but suddenly you realize that something very important might be about to change? Well, that's exactly what's happening now in Titletown. We're talking about the franchise with 13 world titles, the team built on the legendary power sweep, the home of historic names like Jim Taylor and Paul Hornum. But right now, the Packers' running backs are full of uncertainties and decisions that could completely change the team's course for next season. Before continuing, like the video and subscribe to the channel, because here we talk about American football with the passion of a true fan. And I also want to know your opinion. Do you think the Packers management is taking too many risks with this situation in the backfield? Comment below, because today's discussion promises to be interesting. The reality is simple and at the same time worrying. Today, there is only one name that really stands out in this group: Josh Jacobs. He's the warrior, the leader, the running back who doesn't shy away from a hit and carries the team on his back when needed. But there's an important detail that can't be ignored. Jacobs is entering the third year of his 4-year contract, valued at $48 million, and the impact on the salary cap in 2026 reaches an impressive $14.5 million. That's elite running back money. And when we look at the rest of the roster at that position, we find practically a desert. The situation becomes even more tense when information emerges that Emmanuel Wilson and Chris Brooks may not remain with the team and should test the free agency market. And this is very concerning, because Wilson has shown he could be an important piece. In one opportunity, against the Vikings at Lambeau Field, he took Jacobs' place and simply ran for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was a performance that left many fans excited. Even so, apparently the front office may be willing to follow another path. Chris Brooks also cannot be ignored in this conversation. He was the third running back in the rotation, but played an important role, mainly on special teams and in quarterback protection situations. Brooks was known within the team for his high football IQ, managing to recognize complex blitzes and protect the quarterback in critical moments. Even so, everything indicates that he may also be leaving. Within the organization, some sources indicate that management is looking at a specific factor when evaluating the future of the position: explosiveness. Josh Jacobs has strength, stamina, and leadership, but there's a feeling that he lacks that running back capable of turning a simple play into a long, decisive run. And that's where another name that divides opinions among fans comes in: Marshawn Lloyd, a third-round pick in the 2024 draft. The player's physical talent is impressive. He has elite speed, runs 40 yards in 4.4 seconds, and possesses physical metrics that excite any scout. The problem is simple and worrying at the same time: injuries. Lloyd participated in only 10 snaps as a rookie and simply didn't play the following season. Betting the entire future of the position on a player who has barely played would be a huge risk. With that, the question is gaining traction both inside and outside the team. Who could be the perfect complement to Josh Jacobs? The front office seems to be looking for a player who is the ideal counterpoint. Jacobs represents strength, physical impact, and a tough game between tackles. What the team is looking for now is speed, agility, a player capable of receiving passes and creating big plays in open field. Among the names that appear in discussions is Kenneth Walker, an explosive running back who recently had a season with over 1,000 yards and an average of 4.6 yards per carry. He also led the available running backs in broken tackle rate, an important indicator of the ability to create plays even in difficult situations. Only 25 years old, he would be an extremely interesting signing, but one that would likely require a heavy investment. Another name that appears in the conversations is Travis Etienne. A first-round draft pick, he has already accumulated 3 seasons with over 1,000 yards and has shown he can contribute in the passing game, with over 160 receptions in 4 years. He's a versatile running back, capable of adapting to different offensive schemes, although some analysts question his ability to consistently break tackles. There's also the possibility of a different profile: Kenneth Gainwell, a running back who may not draw as much attention for his explosive runs, but who excels as a third down specialist. He catches passes, protects the quarterback, and keeps drives alive. In a modern offense like the Packers, this type of player can be incredibly valuable. But there's a scenario that would excite many fans: a possible return of Aaron Jones. The former fan favorite may be leaving the Vikings, and some rumors indicate that a return to Green Bay wouldn't be impossible. Jones is already 31 years old, and his efficiency numbers dropped last season, but his leadership in the locker room and his connection with the fans are still enormous. Even so, anyone who knows General Manager Brian Gutekunst knows that emotional decisions aren't exactly his style. He has shown in the past that he's willing to make tough decisions if he believes they're best for the team's future. Therefore, a name that emerges as a possible surprise is J.K. Dobbins. Before suffering a severe foot injury, Dobbins was an extremely efficient running back, averaging 5 yards per attempt. If he can return healthy, he could represent enormous market value, bringing high-level talent at a relatively low cost. All this happens while the Packers try to assemble the ideal offense to help quarterback Jordan Love. Matt LaFleur's offensive scheme needs a running back capable of contributing in the passing game and exploiting spaces when defenses drop back to protect the pass. A player capable of catching balls, breaking tackles, and turning short plays into big gains. And that's exactly why this decision is so important. The NFC North is becoming increasingly competitive. The Lions remain strong, the Bears are evolving rapidly, and the division promises to be a real battle next season. So now, I want to know your opinion, fan. If you were in the Packers front office, who would you choose to be the perfect complement to Josh Jacobs? Would you go after an explosive talent like Kenneth Walker? Would you bet on the versatility of Travis Etienne? Would you try an exciting return of Aaron Jones? Or would you prefer a high-risk gamble like J.K. Dobbins? Comment below because I want to read everyone's opinion. And of course, if you like content about the NFL, the Green Bay Packers, and analysis from someone who passionately follows the team, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Because the truth is simple: the Packers' backfield puzzle is only just beginning to move, and the next decisions could define the team's direction in 2026.